Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Today we are here making some of my most favorite Christmas cookies, my Gingersnaps. But these Gingersnaps are gluten-free and they are dairy-free, but they are full of taste. So I wanted to show you how I make them. So we're gonna start with some dry ingredients. So in this bowl here, I've got almond flour. And I've also got tapioca starch. So tapioca starch is going to be the ingredient that's going to give the cookies a nice crisp bite to them. And it's also going to get that taste on your tongue that makes you think that you're having like white flour, but you're not. So it's going to give a nice taste to them. So I've got almond flour in here and tapioca starch. And then I'm going to add in my spices. So in here I've got some allspice, cinnamon, ginger. I've got some pink Himalayan salt, and then I've also got a pinch of baking soda. I'm gonna add those in. Then I'm just gonna stir them around with my whisk so that they're all incorporated. I find when making these cookies, some of the recipes will call for a lot of baking soda. And I find that it's just too much and you get this like baking soda taste. So I always just do a pinch. I mean, cookies don't have to rise a lot anyway. So I just usually put in a pinch. Okay, so this is all mixed. So this is our nice flour mixture with our spices. You can smell them in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for a minute, and then I'm gonna move on to our wet ingredients. So I don't do this by hand. I like to use a little bit of help from my food processor, which I've had for years. So I'll just keep using it until I can't anymore. So the first thing we're gonna put in here is coconut oil. So this is the fat that we're using today in place of butter, and I'm just gonna put that into our food processor. And then our sweetener today that we're using is coconut palm sugar. So I use this a lot in recipes as well as maple syrup. Coconut palm sugar has a really nice brown sugar taste to it, caramel taste to it. And it's lower on the glycemic index, so it's not gonna spike your insulin as much. Now I say that because I use it quite often for that purpose. However, because we've put some starch in here, your blood sugar still may go up from that starch. But it is the Christmas time, so it's okay to have a little bit of sweetness. All right, I'm gonna turn this on, so I'll be back when it's done. So we've mixed up the coconut oil and the palm sugar, and I'm gonna add some of these other wet ingredients. So I have some vanilla, which I forgot. Let me just get my measuring spoon here. So a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm also gonna add one of our farm fresh eggs. Oh, I think no, I didn't. I thought I saw a shell go in there, but I didn't. And then we can't forget our molasses. So this is 1 tablespoon of molasses. Not a lot, but just a little bit to give it that nice molasses flavor. All right, so I'm gonna mix this together and we'll be back when it's done. All right, so I've got those things mixed together. Now I'm gonna start adding in my dry ingredients here. So I'm just gonna put in probably half of it to begin with. The tapioca starch, as you can see, is very powdery. You can see the powder coming up. It's quite fine. You can use tapioca starch in place of things like cornstarch. I use it quite often to thicken stews and soups. All right, here we go. Mix this part up. And I'm just gonna add the rest in. Okay, and I'll give the rest a nice little mix. Okay, so it's done mixing. It really took no time at all, and it takes no time at all with a food processor, so that's why sometimes I use it as one of my best tools. So this dough, we need to be able to shape it into balls, but as you can see, because we processed it, it's just not, it's not a good consistency. It's very mushy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back in my bowl, and I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes to chill. All right, so we just got some out of the oven here. So you can see that I've rolled them in some palm sugar. They've got that nice little crackle to them. So I'm gonna leave them there. They're very fragile. If I move them right now, they're gonna fall apart. Kind of the tendency of some of these gluten-free recipes as well, but they're gonna get nice and crisp sitting there. So I've got my next pan ready to go. And as I said, I've had my dough chilling in the fridge for 30 minutes. I'm just gonna take little balls, roll them in some sugar. So this is some palm sugar. You could use like an organic cane sugar if you wanted to as well. That would give the cookies, instead of that palm sugar on the top, it will give it more of a white coating. All right, these are going into the oven for 15 minutes. So thanks for watching today, and I hope you try this recipe out.